Hi guys. I know this is a really bad recording area. And you haven't seen me in forever. But anyway, I'm stuck in the bedroom. I'm sitting on my son's bed that's in our bedroom. He doesn't use it, but it is here. And I wanted to talk to you guys about some books that I got from BookOutlet whenever they had some sale on books about wintertime. I can't remember if it was like 40% or something like that. I don't know what it was. But anyway. One that I'm actually reading right now is Through the Evil Days by Julia Spencer Fleming. And this is a thriller book. It is number 8 in the series. From what I've seen on Goodreads, people said that you had to read the first 7. I am like getting close to being done, and I don't think that's true. I don't feel like I've missed out. I mean, there's things that they talk about that I don't exactly know what they're talking about, but I don't feel like it's necessary for me to go back and read the first 7. But this is really good. It's a really cold night in January when they find a house burnt down. 2 people in it have been burned, and a little girl that they were fostering is missing. And the chief of police and his wife are supposed to be like up in the mountains having a honeymoon, and they end up going up there, and there's like the ice storm of the century that happens, and they're stuck up in a cabin in an ice storm, and somebody is after them. So it's been pretty good so far. I do think this will probably end up with a 4-star rating for me. It took me about 80 pages to finally like truly start liking it, but I think it's pretty good so far. The next one I actually have already read, and it is Wolf Winter by Cecilia Ekbach. I don't know how you say this. This cover is just beautiful. This was incredibly good. It is placed in Sweden in 1717. A woman, her 2 daughters, and her husband move to the Laplands. I guess that's how you say it. Or Lapland. I don't know. And this is their story of like surviving a really bad storm. And as soon as they had ended up moving there, her oldest daughter found a body in the woods. And so this is their story of a really bad winter and trying to figure out who it was who killed this man. And it was incredibly good. This is a 5-star rating. I highly recommend it. And I plan on buying her other book. I can't even remember what it's called. Because I really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed learning about the culture. The next one is The Winter Place by Alexander Yates. And I'm sorry that this all is going to be backwards because I didn't even realize I am recording on my iPad, which I never do, and I don't know how to flip that. And this story is about a young girl and her brother, I think. Their mother died, and they have to move to Finland with their grandparents. And the brother keeps talking about having to find his parents or something in the woods, even though they're dead. And so I think he ends up taking off and going into the woods, and she has to find him before it's too late. I don't know. It doesn't really explain exactly what's going on, but I mean, it says in a very real world of ghosts and grief. So I'm not really sure if it has supernatural in it or if it's just this young boy thinking there's ghosts. I'm not really sure. The next is Winter Solstice by Rosamund Pilcher. And this book is about a few different people, I guess, which I think she's known for, writing about a bunch of different people at one time. And I think they come together during a snowstorm in Scotland, maybe at this house, and kind of their friendship, and I'm not really sure what happens in it, but it sounded good. The next is The Snow Queen by Joan D. Venge. And I'll be honest, the cover is what really drew me in, but this sounds like an interesting sci-fi. Apparently there's winter colonists on a planet for 150 years, and then there's something about a stargate's going to close, and then a 150-year reign of the summer primitives begin, And winter has to do something. They have to do something with the corrupt Snow Queen because of genocide. So I don't know if they're like fighting the Snow Queen or what's going on. I don't know. It just sounded interesting. It was a sci-fi. The next one I'm not really sure about. It's Mind of Winter by Laura Kashik. I'm not really sure how you say that. This is a story of a mother and a daughter who move from Russia. Or maybe it's a father even. Yes, it is. Or I'm not sure. Maybe they didn't move from Russia. They went to Russia to adopt this young girl, and as she's grown, the little girl has gotten like stranger and stranger, and I guess while the husband goes away for, I don't know if it's a business trip or something, around Christmas time, she begins to think there's something evil going on with her daughter and thinks that something evil has followed them from Russia to their home. I guess maybe in America. I guess that's where they're at. I'm not really sure. So I don't really know if this is going to be like, if it's a horror or what it is, because I'm not a big horror person, so I'm hoping this isn't really truly scary. The next one is, wanted to make sure this was right, The Boy in the Snow by M.J. McGrath, and it's an Edie Kiglaktuk, I don't know, mystery. I'm sure I totally butchered that. This takes place, I think in Alaska. Yes. In Alaska, about a dog sled race, I think, and there's a body of an infant that's found, and I think it's just them trying to find out what happened to this baby. This is, I think, the second in the series. I went back and bought the first one from Amazon, which I'll show you guys later. And the next is just What Kind of Mother Are You? I'm not really sure exactly what happens in this, other than I think a friend is watching her other friend's child, and the child disappears. Yes, she's watching her best friend's 13-year-old daughter, and she goes missing, and she's publicly blamed. And now she goes and tries to figure out what's going on and what happened to her best friend's daughter while she was watching her. I don't know. I'm trying to hurry here. Venus in Winter by Gillian, I don't know which way she says it, Bagwell. And it's a novel of Bess of Hardwick. And I don't really think this has anything to do with winter. I guess they had it on there because it says winter. And all I know is it has to do with a young girl coming in to wait on a gentlewoman. And so all I know is she goes to court, and I'm not really sure what happens. But this time period is one that I will always buy. The Winter Foundlings by Kate Rhodes. And I can't remember exactly what this is about. I know it's about a psychologist, and I think they find 2 bodies maybe. Or there's 2 girls that go missing. 4 girls have gone missing. And a young girl is discovered dressed all in white, dead, at the Foundling Museum. And so I think it's just like a race against time to try to find the last girl, I think, maybe before she's dead or something. I don't know. I thought it sounded incredibly good. It sounds like a thriller. Mercy Snow by Tiffany Baker. Once again, this is a beautiful cover. I love it. But I don't think this has anything to do with winter as well, if I remember correctly. It has to do with a family after a terrible accident. I guess it's 2 families. I'm not really sure what all is going on. There is something to do with somebody who needs to be saved, and the stakes reach new heights when a skeleton is discovered on the Snow's land, I guess close to where the car, or what does it say? To the crash site. I don't know if it's an accident, like a car accident, or if it's a plane accident. I don't know. I just thought it sounded interesting. The next is The Siege Winter by Samantha Norman. And this one, I don't remember what this one is about either. England 1141. So that is probably the reason why I bought this. And it's about 2 young girls and an English king. I don't know anything else other than that. There's an 11-year-old and a 15-year-old. Oh, and I think one of them dresses up as an apprentice and pretends to be a male. I think, so that sounded really good. And last one, because we're already at 10 minutes. The Paris Winter by Imogen Robertson, which I've read one of her books before. And I think this has to do with a woman who ends up going to an academy. Yes, she goes to an academy in Paris, but she realizes it's not really a place where she can be because she doesn't have any money, and she ends up enjoying it with like fellow students, but then she's thinking this isn't my lifestyle, and so she's like starving and she doesn't know what to do because it's like a cold winter, and so she ends up, I guess, being hired by a man to be a live-in companion to his sister, and something goes on and finds out this man and his sister are not what she thought they were. I don't know. It sounds really good. But anyway, that is it for the Book Outlet haul. Like I said, they were having a sale on a bunch of winter-themed If it said winter or something, it really doesn't have to do with winter. But anyway, had a sale on those, and I went ahead and got some of those because I just was craving winter reads for winter. So that's it, and I will see you guys later.